All right, so I'm back with a new drill cycle deck. I shared one pretty similar a couple weeks ago, and I decided to swap out a couple cards for Doh Barrel and Minimander. Everybody's running Minimander right now, and why wouldn't you? It's 2 Doh. It's essentially a cycle card that has a ton of HP. I actually just watched the Jets and Fleet video while I was editing this one. I was taking a break and noticed he had uploaded something, and I didn't know that it had as much HP as Mr. Boom, I think he said. Minimander's really strong, so if you're looking to put something in your deck and you don't know what, try out Minimander. It's a pretty good choice. And some people like to go with the strategy of just like stacking a bunch of them. That's actually the intro clip to this, and the way that I won this game was stacking a bunch of Minimanders, but don't like focus on that and try to make that the main part of your gameplay. Even just one Minimander is a lot of damage. If you can get on tower with one of those, you're kind of good to go. You'll do a significant amount of damage to their tower. So the playstyle for this is just capping barrels. It can get a little boring. Like, look at this. I've got 3 or 4 on tower. Absolutely melts this tower. And then by the time that they take out most of my Minimanders, it's down to like 24 HP. So very, very strong. They lag out for just a little bit there. But yeah, like I was saying, the gameplay is, it can be a little boring. You need to get in the cycle where you have both of your low cycle cards, Nightfall and Overclock, kind of in the back. So you have your Doh Barrel and Minimanders. You're throwing those down. You want to throw down Barrel first, then your Minimander, and then get the cycle going. And then you start to Overclock and Nightfall cycle. And then you'll be back to a Doh Barrel, and you just keep doing that. And if they're pressuring you, you can just keep spamming major fires. That's kind of what I'm doing at this point in the match, because I've already got a tower down. There's not really much that I need to do. I just need to play defense. And they have Catling guns, so I don't really want to walk into all of that. I've got my Minimanders up. They don't really have an answer for Minimander besides Rage Tower, so I want to force them to come to me. So I'm just hanging out. The playstyle kind of depends on your opponent, so don't treat every single match the same. But here's a pretty common tactic. So if you have Teleporter in your deck, the reason that I have it in here is so that I can do exactly that. I can just push them back, which nullifies a lot of their rage. Teleporters are a really strong card for 1 Doh. And then bam, there's the win with like 5 Minimanders on. The Teleporter is a really strong card because you only have to spend 1 Doh on, what is it, the disposable Teleporter that pushes them back. So you've just countered probably over half of their Rage Tower for 1 Doh, which is very, very strong. So this match is against Luchoser. I think I did a match with the Drill Cycle deck before against him. The matches against him are always pretty good, so that's why I include him sometimes. He's got high-level cards, so it makes it an interesting match. But yeah, same thing. He's got, what is that, Igloo? Not really a big deal for me because the one thing about this deck is you can kind of hang out on your side of the base if you absolutely need to. It's good to be aggressive, and you should be going to towers, but if you absolutely need to, you can kind of hang out in your base and drill cycle, but unless you're getting the positive 2 trade with drill by destroying like a mine or a porta potty or something, you probably shouldn't be doing that because 4 Doh is a lot to throw away. Because, I mean, drill does pretty good damage, but I don't think it's enough to warrant just kind of naked cycling it, right? Sometimes you have to, but I wouldn't advise doing that all the time. But he threw down a mine right there, so on left tower, that's why I drill cycled there. So, if you watch the Jets and Fleet video, you should go watch that one. It has a lot of good tips for Minimander in there. He was commenting on how Minimander moves around. And so they did make a change because it did used to operate like Greevil where it would just follow you around. But now it basically mirrors the input to your commander. So if you click somewhere, it's just going to go straight beeline for that point. It's not going to try to like follow your commander and then go to that point by following your commander. So it's actually pretty strong because you could be on one side of the map, place a Minimander somewhere else, and then, like, where this is really strong is when they're trying to cap your Doh Barrel. So if you're on their tower using Rage Tower, you can just place Minimander right on the barrel and then immediately start shooting them. Your commander will walk over, but the Minimander will interrupt them so they can't cap your Doh. Another good tip for that is if they're running B mine, then you can, so like where my commander is right now, you could just have him standing right there, place Minimander at mid-map, and then walk to the mine. So the Minimander will die to the mine, which is a 2-for-2 trade, and then your commander takes no damage. So little things like that. I'm sure there's a bunch more interactions that you could do, but I haven't figured them all out yet. Ask Punisher. He loves Minimander. I think he's level 12 now. So this one came down to the wire. I think, I can't remember if I won because he misplayed a teleporter, but it actually ended up helping me out a lot whenever he played the teleporter, wherever he played. You'll see it in a second. But I'm really low health here. I've almost got health tower back up. I think at this point it is back up. Luckily, my Minimander survives and does some shots, and then I'm able to heal up and then take the bees out and do enough damage to where my major fire can just do a little bit of damage, because it gets really, really close here. He drill cycles, and then boom, victory. So try it out. I really enjoy this deck from time to time. It can get a little boring, so I swap it out, but it's really powerful right now, especially with all the buildings going around.